Hey, coach, my question is, in regards to the conditions, do you believe it's, despite the spinners are going to have a big impact, I'd assume, that if the faster men could hit the wicket hard, pull a lot of variations, they could become very crucial to the West Indies into this tournament,
Well,
deeper down the tournament, sorry.
obviously, if you look at the conditions here, especially in Dubai, where we played, there was a bit in it for the Pacers. Obviously, Tamar Mills, Christopher Jordan, people like that who bowl into the pitch with a nice change of pace, got the rewards. I believe that there's enough for both spinners and pacers. It is all about assessing the conditions. The pitch will give you the information, and the team that grabs that information the quickest and execute the skills the best then will come out on top. Because the pitch will always give you the information. Pitches change from day to day. You might go into a game where you want to hit the pitch hard, but you realize that the pitch is not that type of pitch. The ball is standing up. You might have to bowl a little bit fuller, or you might find that the ground is a lot smaller on one side, so you might have to go to depth early. So there's lots of information to be gathered, and the thing about it is accessing it as quick as possible and then executing your skills.
My second question, could you give some insight on the rationale to continue to have Chris at three? We know the opening, the batting, he's second to none to anyone in T20 cricket, but his numbers and the performances at three thus far haven't come to fruition apart from a big innings against Australia. Could you say why the team management has continued to persist with Gale at three rather than have him open?
Well, if I give you the answer to that question, the press will have a field day tomorrow, and it'll be all over the press saying Roddy Estwick said this and Roddy Estwick says that. We're asking Chris Gill to do a role. Chris is very very experienced. If you look at a lot of the teams, they want to bowl the leg spinners, and we felt that at number three, it gives him a chance to have a matchup against the spin attack. Chris has been a wonderful servant for West Indies cricket. We still expect great things from him, but he also has a lot in terms of in the dressing room, in terms of helping the younger players. Sometimes we tend just to look at performances and we tend to think that, you know, um, the numbers don't match up, but there's a lot more to a cricketer and there's a lot more to an experienced player in terms of the dressing room, in terms of helping the youngsters, in terms of helping on the field as well. And what people tend to forget as well, that Chris offers a spin option. If you look at the Australian, when we played against Australia, Chris bowled really well. So there's a lot of rules that Chris has to play within the team. Just don't look at the performance. Look at in the past, he's done very, very well at the World Cup level. And I'm sure before the tournament is finished, he will do well again.
Akim, if no more questions from yourself, I'm actually seeing no further indications. I know it's just after 6 a.m. in the Caribbean, so not many of our journalists would have had an opportunity to join. But Akim, I do thank you. And if you have further questions, please proceed. If not, we will look to end today's engagement.
Well, I would just clear up something the coach said there. You talk about Chris doing well, but again, it was just to clarify. He's been doing well and has done well opening the batting. So just trying to clear up, why keep him at three. I have no problem with him playing, but why the persistence with him at three? Because I think that could have been a factor that had Ross and Chase out to the 2011. Let's assume it is because Gale opening the batting, his numbers really are in his favor, but at number three, the numbers don't really add up that much. So just to clarify why the persistence with Gale at three and not giving the option open.
Well, that's down to the selectors. That's nothing to do with me. I'm here just to coach players. But if you look at Ross and Chase, his numbers at number three, he's only batted once at number three in T20 cricket. For St. Lucia Stars, he batted at number four all the way through and did very very well in the last 2 years. So you've got to look at your makeup of the side. You don't just pick players because you've got 15 players, so you have to pick and try and get your best combination. And the selectors obviously felt that going into the England game, that was our best combination. We can't hide behind the fact that we didn't bat well. It doesn't matter who played. As a batting unit, we didn't do well enough. We didn't do ourselves justice. And to start with, if you're going to get ball out in 14 point odd overs in a T20 game, it just tells you that we didn't bat well enough. But we've got to bounce back. We've got to work hard to get that right, and that's going to be very important for us. We've got to make sure that whoever walks on that park is ready is prepared well enough to go and execute the skills and have enough confidence in their own ability to do what is needed.
Thanks, Roddy. I'm seeing a raised hand from Sudipto Ganguly. Sudipto, you can proceed with your question.
Hi, Coach. Just wanted to check, the turnaround time has been quite quick from the debut of the last match. How has been the mood in the camp, looking forward to tomorrow's match?
Well, one bad game doesn't make a summer. We realized that we had a bad game. We've had a chat about it. The players had some volleyball yesterday to help them to relax, to try and build some team spirit. We're about to have a practice session now. The one thing you can do is you can, once you lose a game, you can look for all the excuses in the world. You can nitpick all you want. You've got to back the players. Our job is to get the players up, make sure they remain confident, make sure they still believe in their ability, make sure the dressing room is still a happy place, and let them go and enjoy the game of cricket, because that's why they started playing. You start playing cricket because you enjoy doing it. They're fortunate enough that they become international superstars and they're representing their country. But at the end of the day, it's all about enjoyment. And once the enjoyment comes first and the attitude is right, then your skill level will remain high and your discipline will remain very high.
All right, seems to be no further questions from Sudipto. And that will bring us to the end of today's engagement. As mentioned by the assistant coach, we do have a very important training session coming up with the second match of our ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2021 tomorrow against South Africa at 2 p.m. in Dubai. So we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to the support from all of the media and all of our fans back home. Roddy, on behalf of the media, I just want to say thank you for taking time out to be here today. And hopefully tomorrow we'll favor better than we did in the first match.
Well, it can't go any worse than the weekend I've had. Big supporter of Man United. We lost 5-0 and we lost the game on Saturday. So the weekend hasn't been the best. So hopefully tomorrow things will start turning around and for the better.
Well, hopefully.
And thanks for having me.
Hopefully the cricket aspect will get better. I can't say that I'm necessarily sorry for you about the football. Enjoy the rest of your day, Roddy.
Being an Arsenal supporter, you'll be happy.